So greetings, it's Mike's. And Gracie. Greetings, it's Mike's.
And Gracie.
From liveourassoff.com. I'm gonna have to change the name of the domain now that we're this like power couple. So we're under an umbrella. We're in Florida.
Yep.
And as you can see, the sand is very white. And we're not having to share it with anybody because it is June. And so therefore, we've got Only Child Beach. Now it's raining. And you might say, Mike, you're an idiot. It's raining. It's raining and it's 80 degrees. And I am loving it. So as mentioned before, I have this big theory that seasonal affective disorder is, you can combat that by having light around you, but I also believe that ambient temperature plays a big part. So, I was sick and tired of May Gray and June Gloom in San Diego, and we had, quality problem, we had to spend $500 on JetBlue and make a reservation to go somewhere, otherwise it was going to go away. And so, you know, you could argue, okay, great, I'll book 2 tickets for $1,000 and it'll only cost us $500, and I could book the reservations for, say, November or something like that. But I said, no, I am like getting in a worse and worse mood every second that ticks by, and I'm in San Diego. May and June are the worst months in San Diego. May Gray and June Gloom, affectionately, hardly affectionately. So we've come to. Now the only reason I'm really under this is because of my camera. I'm definitely waterproof, but I don't want you to get your I don't want you to get your camera all. So anyway, so we've come down here. Right now we are in Naples, and this is the pier. Basically, if you were to take the 75 all the way, technically you're on the 75 north, but basically you're taking the 75 all the way west from Fort Lauderdale, and then you make your way to here, which is the west coast of Florida.
No fishing.
The Gulf Coast. Yeah, there's no fish right now, but I'll tell you something, the water is clean. I'm sure you cannot see that. The lens on my camera is not excellent, but Naples, if you don't know, is very affluent, and so the places around here are pretty nice. But anyway, this is just one of our stops. We have an Airbnb up in Sarasota area, and we'll be there tonight, and then tomorrow, don't know, we haven't decided yet. I got points at a Marriott, so we may go to one of their properties, but I haven't really decided. But for now, we're checking in from Naples. I hope to talk to you soon. Hurricane Irma. When did that occur? There are a lot of things I like about Florida. Here's one of them. Bright and sunny and raining. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm right into the sun, so maybe you can't see it. Although, when you're in the sun, it's where you can see it the most. But it's not pouring by any... Well, actually, from a San Diego perspective, it's pouring rain. From a Florida perspective, it's misting. I think one of my more favorite times in my summers back home is when it would be hot and humid and it would rain. And then literally all the kids on the street, right, would... Oh, you know what? I'll put a little link below to an article that was done by the local paper about my street where I grew up. A little piece of Americana or something like that is what they titled it. But in any case, the neat part is it would get real sunny and it would rain briefly. Oh, that's a big crow. But I'm getting some silhouette action here. But I do want to show you this. This is the more important part. I know my phone's going to get a little bit wet here, but I absolutely had to show this to you. This is totally cool. They have this little stand here that's got life preservers on it for children. Porque los niños no flotan. Or if you speak English, then you get it on this side. But that's pretty great. It's just like a little organization that decided to get together and provide some life jackets for kids. That's pretty neat. Managed by the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary. It's a really neat time right now. And the bad part is that I could take this video in San Diego, and from a video perspective, it could be identical. I could be in Imperial Beach right now. The problem is that it wouldn't be 80 degrees. Oh, and it's so nice. I love the air temperature. So I don't know if this is a travel hack, but go ahead. But one of the things that I do when I rent cars is I always rent the least expensive car, the absolute least expensive car I can at any place, because of course they're going to try and upsell you, right? And for the most part, in major cities, they don't even have the smallest one, the cheapest one. And I get it, because of course it's all it's going to do is hold Gracie and I, and my luggage weighs more than she does, and it's and it gets better mileage, right? So anyway, so we come up to the Avis counter this morning at 5 a.m. and the woman's like, "Oh, so it's just you two?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Well, let me go see if we have anything other than a minivan." And I'm like, "All right, fine." She goes, "Yeah, we usually have like Chevys or Kias." I'm like, "Oh, cool, I like Kias." So this was the Chevy
Sunshine
that the lady gave us. And I know that, you know, any of you that know me like more than 12 seconds, you know that like I'm ruled by ego, my own. And so anyway, for 3 days, unlimited mileage, they all are that, right? $93.70 for 3 days, because I originally reserved. Oh, and just so you know, I'm not like full of it, right? Like this really is. We really did rent it. That's really my Mountain Dew. But I gotta tell you, if I ever questioned my age, it's painfully obvious how old I am, because I got this thing and I'm like, oh man, I was really looking forward to one of those four-door Kias, because those things are awesome. I mean, honestly, the seat, it doesn't go back far enough. I don't have enough leg room. Gracie's like fine, but she can't recline. I swear, okay, so our seats on JetBlue, and I didn't pay for the extra legroom seats, had more legroom than this Corvette. I need to Google how much these things are. It's got 10,122 miles on it, is what we drove out of there with. And we've driven at 7 feet, so now I need to refuel it. I mean, it's fun, kinda, but it's raining. And, oh, it does have a hardtop. So I took the hardtop off. We were cruising along, because when we got in, it was about 80. And then right in the middle of the 75, so Alligator Alley, the toll road, got down to about 73, and the clouds were coming out kind of like this. We felt a few sprinkles, and so I threw the top back on, and then when we got here to this parking lot, actually, so there's the pier down there. That's where we came from. And anyway, so we're gonna head back into, like, I guess town, sort of. It's another about 2 hours up to our Airbnb up in Sarasota, where we'll be spending the night. But we're here for 3 days. It's today being the first, and then we got here at like 5 a.m. So all day today, all day the next day, tomorrow, and then we leave here at I think 5 p.m. and awesome time change, direct flight. Thank you, JetBlue. We get home at 7 p.m. But this is great. I mean, it's raining, but the sun's out and it's hot. I'm digging it, and we're living the dream. You know, another thing I just remembered actually about Florida is that even when you're a tourist, the prices of things are reasonable. We just had breakfast at, you know, what, it's one of these like, well, it's called broken egg, you know, so it's like broken yolk or whatever. They have those little chains in every city, it seems, every little town. And it was good, so thank you, Rob, for the recommendation. But for both of us, including tip, it was like $21.56, so that's cheap for breakfast as far as I'm concerned when we're on vacation, and we're in Naples. So anyway, so we've taken the top off of the Chevy, and so Gracie's ready. She's the worst thing that a Filipina could ever do is get darker, right? You just want to stay white.
I
Me,
don't care about
I'm
staying
gonna-
white, honey.
although you know, with this sun, I'll probably have to keep the hat on,
Yeah, you should.
but I know it's gonna like fly off maybe.
But
Anyway.
you tighten this.
Oh, I wonder if you can see the heads-up display thing. No, maybe not. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so you can't see it. Okay, so there's the heads-up display, and I can change what's on it. So like RPMs, obviously P, it's in park, miles per hour as well as tachometer, miles per hour, and actually it doesn't show it here, but when I'm driving along, right next to the speed limit, the speed that I'm going in a square is the speed limit. So that's kind of neat at first. And then I will tell you though, driving, but then I can like just totally shut it off basically. Driving at night after the novelty wears off, it's totally lame. Okay, you good? All right, yeah, right. Actually, you know what? You were wearing the same thing when we did the boat ride in Bangkok. You had the scarf around you.
Yeah, because I get irritated.
Because the sun?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I
I'll
don't
grab my
want to-
sunglasses. We're off.